Hi everyone, welcome to the Harry Sahi Show. Today we have a very special guest with us joining in, who is a serial entrepreneur and accredited investor. He is the co-founder of Sports One Marketing and formerly served as the CEO of the renowned Lee Sternberg Sports and Entertainment Agency. He's a three-time international best-selling author, a top 100 business coach, and executive producer of Entrepreneur's number one digital business show called Elevator Pitch. Please welcome David Meltzer to the show.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure to be here, Harry, and looking forward to utilizing this time to help people make more money, help more people, and have more fun.
Awesome, sounds good. So let's dive into our very first question here, Dave. Since all of us, we know about the things you have achieved in life, which is great. So tell us something, what exactly have you been working on recently?
The last 4 years, utilizing my platform, which consists of books that I've written, which I give for free, the podcast that I have, the playbook, which we're on 700 episodes, the TV shows Elevator Pitch, and a new hit series, 2 Minute Drill, which is on Bloomberg Television and Amazon. And I'm developing another series called Office Hours, which is a digital program, which I'm making for TV. Of course, I'm speaking around the world. Huge business coaching practice, both private coaching, which I created some groups for COVID to help people that may not have the budget to have such a higher level of understanding and purpose and networking. And then, of course, my normal business advisory. But all of the things that I do, everything is available for free. My books, my playbook, all the things in order to help empower others to be happy.
Awesome. I think it's all about you're providing such a great value, a value for free people as well, the people who cannot afford, but still they want to learn in life. So I think that's a really good thing you're doing. Awesome.
Thank you.
So, Dave, I was just reading more about yourself as well. And your mission of life is really inspiring, like your mission empowering and challenging the lives of people. Can you elaborate like more on your vision of empowering like 1 billion people, and how are you achieving that?
Yeah, so first of all, happiness, I realized, was a long lost art or discipline which can save the world. Happiness is a virus. It's completely contagious. You can share happiness simply by witnessing it. So I don't care if you have a hazmat suit, a mask, it doesn't matter. You can catch happiness. And the greatest thing about happiness is it strengthens you. It strengthens you mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially. It even strengthens your immune system. So it'll protect you more than even a hazmat suit. So happiness is the most powerful of all things. And so I set off on a mission to create a collective consciousness of happiness, of a world of more than enough of everything for everyone. And the way that I'm doing it, Harry, is finding people like you, going on shows like this, to find 1,000 people like Harry that I know can empower 1,000 people in his lifetime in order to empower another 1,000. So 1,000 times 1,000 is a million times 1,000 is a billion. And by creating that collective consciousness, we all know that one little particle of light overcomes a million particles of darkness. So with over 1 billion particles of light, I should be able to create and change the world into an abundant place of more than enough.
Awesome. Sounds good. I think that's a really good mindset. And what do you think, like, theoretically, it sounds really great, right? Like empowering 1,000 people, and then those 1,000 people will empower like 1 million people, and million times 1,000, that comes your billion, right? Theoretically, it sounds fantastic, great. But practically, when you talk about practically, is there some systems put in place which make sure the quality remains the same when you're empowering those like 1 billion people?
Yeah, in order to get to a scale at that size and scope, you have to have a very simple, clear message that can empower people. So I came up with 4 key values. Number 1, teaching people the true essence of gratitude, the power of finding the light, the love, and the lessons, and giving perspective of happiness. 2, forgiveness. The only true methodology of happiness is through having peace and certainty, and forgiveness will give you peace and certainty to pursue the unforgivable, and to be able to forgive the unforgivable will give that peace and happiness to people. 3, accountability. So many people live in a liability. They have blame, shame, and justification. But teaching them to ask themselves, what did I do to attract this to myself, and what am I supposed to learn? And then the mind shift of inspiration,
Mhm.
understanding the difference, number one, between motivation and inspiration, but two, the world of not enough, more than enough, and just enough. And
True.
so for me, teaching how to be inspired and allow life to come through you, where there's more than enough of everything for everyone, those four key values combined with 5 daily practices through all my books, my guides, my exercises, my free trainings on Friday, my podcast, my TV show, my movies,
Yeah.
all the things that I'm doing, my speaking engagements, my coaching, we should be able to muster up at least 1,000 people to learn the values and the daily practices in order to effectuate happiness.
Yeah, I think that's really good. And the one important thing, which I think is very hard to do, is one thing which you just mentioned, which is accountability. Like being accountable, because I can tell you my background. I'm in a design business. Like we design houses, custom houses, and all that, right? So that part, which is like being accountable, what we try to do is we put the responsibility on the other person, like who stamped the drawings, who has stamped other things. But being accountable of your own action, I think this is the very hard thing to do.
Yeah, I call it above the line living. A lot of people have lived below the line for so long in blame, shame, and justification that they don't understand that by living in the realm of liability and below the line living, that they're giving up control.
Yeah.
The true sense in light of control is when you know that you're accountable utilizing 3 laws: the law of gravity, which you probably know as a design person, the
Yeah.
law of Goya, which means get off your ass, don't sit at home high on your mom's couch dreaming about what you want.
Yeah.
And of course, the law of attraction, utilizing the frequency of your innate, unbelievable being, your characteristics, obsessions, addictions, and your own personality traits to attract, utilizing gravity, Goya, and attraction to
True.
get what you want in an uncommon time.
100% agree on that. And my next question, Dave, is a little philosophical as well. And I don't want to put you in a tough position, but I was like, this is a very important question and very different question in a way that, don't you think people have greed, like having a greed in a positive way in a business is a good thing? And if it's a good thing, how and where it should stop? Because sometimes it costs you your life.
So I believe greed is an ego-based consciousness, and that it is a scarce energy,
Mm-hmm.
and that in that energy, you're going to find nothingness. What I like to teach is the abundant philosophy, that there's more than enough of everything for everyone. So never negotiating to the last penny, always being fair,
Makes sense.
not doing business with dicks, but
Yeah.
allowing yourself to trust and pursue your potential, and to trust and pursue what's within you. What happens is too many people try to find outside of themselves what they can't find inside of themselves.
That's right.
And so you need to learn to love you. You need to test yourself in order to provide more value and be able to articulate the value that you're asking for to exceed what you're giving. So, or reverse that. You have to exceed what you're asking for.
Makes sense. I think that's which kind of leads to my next question, which is basically that, nowadays everyone is like so business oriented. So don't you think people have become very skeptical or lazy in developing that deep, meaningful business connections? Because at the end of the day, let's not think of as a business, we are dealing with humans, right? So
great. That's a great point. So, obviously we talk in generalities that people need, number one, to understand and ascertain credibility.
Yeah.
2, emotional attachment. So people bound emotion for logical reasons. We're all human beings, as you said. And in business, we need to make sure that we're working with credibility, integrity, and emotional attachment. But I think one of the other things that have fallen to the side as the evolution of new business, digital business, remote working, is that we're not capable of communicating effectively the quantitative value. Too many people live within the world of what I call the purple dinosaur. In America, we have a cartoon called Barney. He's a purple dinosaur, and he represents to me where the true faults of business are occurring today, with all the surface information in business that's done remotely or virtually. And it's, I love you, you love me, nobody makes any money. Look, business isn't entertaining. It's about being able to articulate the quantifiable value to exceed what we're asking for. And by understanding the reasons, the impacts, and the capabilities, and being very pragmatic in the essence of business to align, adjust, and take action, we're capable of creating more abundance for all and creating win-win situations, not scarce, greedy situations where nobody wins.
No, absolutely, absolutely. I think it's 100% very great point. Like finding those fine lines between being greedy and between providing a value to the other person. That's very important to distinguish. 100% agree on that. But at the same time, like when you're providing such a free content, like free value, free podcasts, free books, free live sessions, and all of this, right? So when we're providing such a great amount of free value to people, to potential clients or business relationships, is the idea behind it that when you actually propose them with the deal, that here's what the deal, this is what is in it for you, so that at that point of time, there's no opportunity for the other party to say no to you?
Well, I think it goes beyond that. It's having the confidence of the value that you have. So, people that have value don't need to ask even, although I am a big proponent of asking how you could be of service or value, asking if there's anything that I could do for you, but also asking, do you know anyone that can help me? But moreover, the reason I give everything for free, I actually pay for shipping on my book. I don't just give my book away. I pay for shipping. I sign it. I send it to you because I know that if you see the value in everything that I do and there is a need, that you're going to ask me, you're going to approach me, and then I can articulate the value of what I provide to exceed what I'm asking for when people need to have more intimate access of what I'm doing, more customized understanding of what I'm doing, whatever it may be. Every single client of mine, and I have some big clients in the world, chairmen of the top 10 companies in the world, the greatest celebrities, athletes, entertainers, millionaires, and billionaires are my clients. And they pay me a lot of money. But everything they pay me for is for that access and customization, because everything they pay me for, I give away for free. If they want to take the time to read all the books, watch all the videos, catch me on Instagram, they could learn what I'm teaching, but they just want a, Cliff Notes version, access, intimacy, one-on-one privacy, et cetera, in order for me to customize what is out there for free to apply to what they're doing, so that it's kind of like, I'm like flying a private jet. Can you take commercial? Absolutely. But sometimes the access, the timing, the luxury is worth the money. Yeah. And I guess the only difference between me and a luxury jet is I guarantee profitability. So I guarantee everything I do. I only work month to month. I don't lock anybody into anything. So I'll never have a dissatisfied client because nobody pays me unless they're making money from me.
Exactly. I think there's 100% you're right on that. Like people pay you in direct proportions to the problem you solve in their lives. So if you are providing them the value of like $10 billion, they wouldn't mind paying you like $20 million out of it. They would be happy, more than happy to pay you more than $20 million of there, because you're providing such a great value to them, right?
Exactly.
So truly 100% agree on that, The other thing is I want to touch upon is about gratitude, I was, I think, watching one of your videos with Ed Miller, I believe.
Yeah.
On a beach. It was a great location where you shoot that video.
That's his house.
Oh, that's his house? Nice. Yeah, that's really cool. So it's about, like being so happy on which you just mentioned previously in our questions, like being happy on a daily basis, because if you are happy internally, that will drive you to work positively towards your action. Whatever you're doing, you have a peace of mind and you will work more harder and you will be more producing more results out of it, right? So also, how do you think, like having like people who are so materialistic that they don't have much emotions, they don't get emotions to their head at all, so how to practice that gratitude so that they stay humble and grounded as well?
Well, the first step in practicing gratitude is a simple one. It takes about 0.1 seconds a day. And it will change your life if you can do it for 30 straight days, guaranteed. And that's just simply to say thank you. Think thank you. If you can think or say thank you before you go to bed and when you wake up, I guarantee within 30 days, your life will change exponentially for the better. Here's the saddest thing about that, Harry. By tonight, even though I have studied physics, quantum physics, metaphysics, I've surrounded myself with the world thought leaders, from Oprah Winfrey to Deepak Chopra to Tony Robbins. Everybody agrees that gratitude is the most powerful thing, and it's free, and it only takes 0.1 seconds. By tonight, half the people listening to this won't say thank you. By tomorrow morning, another half won't say thank you. And by 3 days from now, almost all of us won't say thank you. Now, I have given you the key to life, the power of finding the light, the love, and the lessons in everything, the power of learning to love what you do, the power of being happy in all situations, to see pain not as a stop sign, but as an indicator, a turn signal to make your life better and put yourself in a better situation. And yet we are so far in our own way that our ego interferes with what we already have, happiness, health, wealth. It interferes with what we already have, that we can't even take 0.1 seconds to change our lives.
Absolutely. 100%. I think you hit right on the nail right there with the ego. I think ego drives people nuts, and people don't even have they take things for granted as if everything is just there, right? So 100%, I think gratitude plays a great role in it. My next question, Dave, is obviously you meet many people throughout the day. Your schedule is super crazy busy, right? Is there any particular interesting incident that has taken you back?
Say that one time. Anybody with what?
Obviously you meet many people, right, on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So is there any particular interesting incident has ever happened that has taken you back? Any interesting?
Oh yeah. So I went down to Texas and I met Hulk Hogan and Jimmy Hart, two of the famous world wrestling people, Darren Prince, who's Magic Johnson's agent. And we went to go visit Joel Osteen, the famous preacher, pastor, reverend. And I met him and Victoria and his mom in their private living room underneath the Rockets, old arena. And I was completely blown away. I've been around every celebrity, athlete, entertainer, media, billionaire, millionaire, entrepreneur, and sitting with him was awe-striking, better than Deepak Chopra even. And watching him perform, regardless of what my religious or spiritual affiliations are, I just enjoyed, number one, the most polished performer I've ever seen, and two, just a positive message that can only bring joy and happiness to everyone. So I think he has taken me back, and it was an honor to meet him, and I look forward to having him on my podcast and look forward to being on his.
Awesome. Sounds good. And I just wanted to say one thing, Dave, here, that, you're such a great inspiration to me. I've been watching you listening to your podcast and all these videos, and I wasn't able to believe that, okay, this is happening in reality. So it's a big thing. Thanks a lot for that opportunity.
Of course.
Again, I was reading about your story as well. Such a great, humble beginnings during the initial days of your life. I think you mentioned you were 5 siblings, I believe, and
yes, sir.
Your mom, the car wasn't working properly. Came from all the way from it's kind of a great story, very inspiring story, truly inspiring.
Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Please, everyone, I do free trainings on Friday. All my content is free. I just typed in david@dmeltzer.com. You can email me personally directly. Google my name, David Meltzer. I even have a shipmeyourbook.com if you want a signed shipped copy for free. But you can always email me for anything I do, david@dmeltzer.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today and for your valuable time, David. And to the listeners, if you're interested in working with David and joining David's free training program, please reach out to him on Instagram with the handle David Meltzer. Also, if you like or advise any changes, please leave a review on the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. That will make a difference for us to embrace certain changes moving forward with our future episodes. We hope you enjoyed this podcast. Take care and see you in the next episode.